Welcome back. News now from Rajasthan, where there's a controversy over the Sariska Tiger Reserve. The Congress has condemned the central and Rajasthan government regarding the state government's proposal to redraw the boundaries of the critical tiger habitat and buffer areas of the Sariska Tiger Reserve. The proposal, which was approved at the Rajasthan Wildlife Board meeting, will be presented to the Standing Committee for the National Board for Wildlife for further approval. However, the Congress has said the alteration of the boundaries will reactivate over 50 mining operations, saying the move would be ecologically devastating. So that is the big controversy regarding Sariska. Now, earlier, a few days ago, there was a controversy over the death of a tigress and her 4 cubs in Karnataka, and this has turned out to be a case of revenge by a man whose cow was preyed upon by the wild animals, and he had poisoned the carcass, leading to the death of this tigress and her 4 cubs. So that was the highest ever number of deaths of a tiger in a day, of tigers in a day in Karnataka. Let's also first take a look at what has been said by the Congress regarding the Sariska map being altered, as well as the Rajasthan government's defense.
ऐसा सुनने में आ रहा है कि इन लोगों ने जो सीटीएच का जो एरिया है, जहां टाइगर लगातार देखा जाता है, जाता रहता है, वहां उसका मूवमेंट है, उस इलाके को कम करके और जो आम जो किसान है, जो एरिया है, इलाका है, उसको उसके अंदर बढ़ा के उसको पूरा करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, जो कि नियमों के एकदम ये खुला उल्लंघन है। और कुछ लोगों को किस वजह से ये लोग फायदा देना चाहते हैं, इसमें कहीं ना कहीं भ्रष्टाचार की बू नजर आ रही है कि इसके अंदर कोई प्लानिंग है, कोई सेटिंग है, बड़े स्तर का इसके अंदर खेल हुआ है। मैं सरकार से भी कहना चाहूंगा, इस पूरे प्रकरण की जांच कराए, भारत सरकार भी जांच कराए।
क्रिटिकल टाइगर हैबिटेट का मतलब यह है कि टाइगर का संरक्षण हो, वन्य क्षेत्र सुरक्षित रहे, बफर जोन और टाइगर सीटीएस सुरक्षित रहे। उसके लिए माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय के हमको निर्देश प्राप्त है कि वन्य क्षेत्र में कमी नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमारा वन्य क्षेत्र बड़ा है, और वो जो मुझे बताते हुए खुशी भी है कि हमारे स्टेट वाइल्ड लाइफ बोर्ड से माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी द्वारा अनुमोदित किया गया है, और नेशनल वाइल्ड लाइफ बोर्ड जो अभी 26 तारीख को देहरादून में बैठक हुई थी, केंद्रीय मंत्री आदरणीय भूपेंद्र यादव जी द्वारा उसको अनुमोदन कर दिया गया है। वन्य क्षेत्र बड़ा है, और हम प्रयास ये कर रहे हैं कि वन्य क्षेत्र को और बढ़ाया जाए, जिससे जिस प्रकार से कुनबा बढ़ रहा है उस तरह से वन्य क्षेत्र भी बढ़ना चाहिए, बफर भी बढ़ना चाहिए, टाइगर सुरक्षित रहे, वन्य क्षेत्र सुरक्षित।
All right, to talk more about the controversy over the Sariska Tiger Reserve, we're now joined by Dr. Anish Andheria, President, Wildlife Conservation Trust, and Prerna Bindra, conservationist and also former member of the National Board for Wildlife. Thank you so much both for joining us. Anish Andheria, first to you. This has raised a lot of concern among environmentalists, and rightfully so, at a time when we should be increasing, protected areas. Here's a move to actually change the map and perhaps allow mining operations near a critical tiger habitat.
Yeah, my worry is that this is setting a precedent, because what happens is that there are 58 tiger reserves in India. Many of them have been declared in late 1970s. Some of them have been declared as early as 2 months ago. So there is, and it's 2.4% of India in terms of area. And there will obviously be a lot of commercial interest in land. Land is at premium in a country with 1.45 billion people. So there will be pressure, and there is pressure for building linear infrastructure, to build dams, to build all these things, mines, etc., etc. And that's the reason why there is an act, the Wildlife Protection Act and the Forest Conservation Act. Between these two acts, we are able to conserve this, and all this conservation talk that we do, people have to understand once and for all that it is not only for the tiger. It is for the biodiversity on the whole, because biodiversity along with ecosystem helps to fight climate change. And finally, if a large chunk of land which is not disturbed by human beings act as a catchment for rivers. And India, 65% of Indians are farmers. So the rainfall is very important. The rivers that flow out of these parks, more than 300 rivers are either fed or are born in tiger reserves of our country. And so the impact of any redrawing or shrinkage of any prime forest is going to have a cascading effect on economy at the end of the day. So what we are doing is, for short-term economical gain of some 50 mines, we are going to have an impact on millions of people, because eventually rivers will fail.
Absolutely. And Prerna Bindra, your comments on this, and Sariska is one of those parks that we talk about as a success story, given that early on. And of course, all of us have covered this about how the tigers were all poached from here, tigers were transferred from Ranthambore, and now you have over 47 tigers. So given this success story that's cited all over the world, now you're making this move that will again cause disturbance to this park and the population of tigers in it.
Thanks, Gargi. Yes, so I'd like to make 2 or 3 points. The first is, you're looking at slicing a tiger reserve. You're redrawing, you might pretty it up with words like rationalization. Okay, but what you're essentially doing is you're cutting off a core critical tiger habitat, which is supposed to be inviolate. And this is an area which will fragment the tiger reserve, the core of the tiger reserve, and destroy connectivity within the reserve. So you're essentially islanding the tigers within smaller enclaves, which, as we know, as science has established, tigers need larger areas. They need connectivity, and Sariska is already an island. And as you point out, this is an area where we had lost tigers, flown them in from Ranthambore, and over a lot of effort, tremendous effort, etc., rebuilt the population. And now we do that with a lot of effort with public money, and now we are set to destroy that habitat again, and again set the stage for extinction into the future, local extinction into the future. And this is not just Sariska. I'm sorry I'm bringing up Panna, but we are doing the same thing in Panna. Local extinction of tigers, rebuild the population with huge efforts on the ground, with we moved people out. And then again, we are drowning it by setting up putting a dam and a river linking project. Now, this is the other thing is, which Anish pointed out, is precedent. If we start cutting our tiger reserves, the core critical tiger habitat, that sets a precedent for other reserves. Forget PAs, which don't get as much attention as tiger reserves do. So this and what is the final thing that I would like to bring up is that, what about our institutions? I mean, we have this whole legal policy framework. Yes. State Board for Wildlife, National Board for Wildlife, Ministry of Environment and Forest, Wildlife Protection Law, Forest Conservation Act, which are all being sidelined to cater to mining and development, and we claim to be leaders in tiger conservation, but I'm sorry, we are sending a terrible message.
That's right. And I also want to quickly talk about what happened in Karnataka, where a tigress and 4 cubs were, poisoned and killed after they had attacked a cow, it seems. And Anish, Dr. Andheriya, this, once again brings into focus this man-animal conflict, something that we need to learn to, deal with. And if we have more disturbance, we'll see more and more such cases.
No, this is only going to go up, because if our quality of the forest is going down, and there are so many instances which can prove, even if you have a satellite image, you will know that the forest quality, so area under forest cover may remain the same, or it may even grow up because of plantation, but the good quality forest is consistently being lost. So if you look at the percentage of best quality forest, that is going down consistently over decades. The not so good is also going down, and we are having an open type of forest percentage going up. So all these conflict situations that we see is because that the habitat for wildlife is not only getting fragmented, but it is also getting degraded. Another thing is 3 million people currently live inside the buffer zones of tiger reserves. So there is huge amount of interaction between people and wildlife. And if the policies are not right, if people don't feel insulated from potentially dangerous animals like tigers and elephants, they will take law in their hands, because a lot of this is, it's like a revenge killing, where a poor person feels that the institution is not listening to them. And for a handful of people who come to watch tigers, tigers are actually destroying their livelihood. The fact is, we have to change our narrative. Tigers and other wildlife are not being protected for tourists. They are just symbols, or they are barometers to understand what is happening to the ecosystem. So we are
Right.
protecting these so that we know that the ecosystems are intact, and that gives us, it's like a, it's like Sensex, where we come to know that this is what the ecosystem is telling us. And so
that's right. I'm sorry we're completely out of time, but thank you both as always for joining us, on the program and talking and explaining these very, very vital issues. Thanks again.